Hello, Deacon Eric here. Just, lots of things in my mind, and I realize as I make videos, sometimes there's gonna be repetition. We're just gonna speak about what's on my heart and what I want to say, what I would want to say if somebody, if I was talking face to face with somebody, maybe, um, and wanted to have a particular conversation with somebody, and what I might say to them, if they ask a certain question, or if find themselves in a certain situation, have a certain opportunity in life, even. So I want to talk to the young man who is um, about to get married, who's maybe dating and thinking about marriage, a man who's relating to a woman. And I've had several videos on this, but it's like, a young man was right in front of me, and let's say this is his bachelor party, and he's about to get married tomorrow. What would I say? And you know, I'm not just talking about the bedroom, but this would have implications for that. Is the advice that Paul gives. That's the advice I would give. Learn to take up your cross for your wife. Learn to go low and to serve your wife. And that doesn't mean you listen to every whim she has, and it doesn't mean you let her usurp leadership. Because there may be times where she's wrong, or she doesn't see, she's worried and she's not making rational decisions, and it calls for a rational decision. And you need to lead. But at the same time, you need to listen to her concerns. You need to you're not just don't just try to win the argument. Try to win her and make sure her heart's engaged. But you'll have place for that if you live a life where you act like Christ and you lay down your life for the sake of her. Now, the best example of this, and I mentioned it before, will come not when you first get married, but when you first get married, it gives you time to work on it. But the full time it will come is when you're going to have a child together. Because it is the most feminine reality happening in her life. It is the highest form of femininity, bringing life, bringing a particular life to a particular woman into this earth. It's the most beautiful thing. And the thing is, when you're a husband and your wife is about to bear your children for you, your love has been seeded into her womb, right? You're the seed and she's like the earth, and that God has blessed it with life, and this little life is growing inside of her, and not just at the birth, but the entire pregnancy. You are called to serve your wife and to pay attention to what she needs. Because the more you will do that, the more you will be engaged, the more you're trying to understand what she's going through. And you're not going to be an expert. You're not going to be a OB doctor or the midwife or a doula or any of those things. Not an expert, but you can learn if you're interested. And she sees your interest and your desire to serve her and the children, to put their interest before your own. You will win her heart in a way that's never been possible before. And the pregnancy will go better. The birth will go easier because it'll break stress off of her. But here's the other hidden reality and beauty of it. If you give yourself to her and seek her betterment, then she will also be free to love you well. She will be free to give up her life for you. That's what marriage is you're laying down your life for each other. And you're coming into this union. And if you will lay down your life for her, then she will happily love you and satisfy your desires and needs and try to help you out. Right? But there's going to be times, there's going to be moments when she is overwhelmed by the stress on her body and just the scary reality of the world that can so easily take that life and take her life. She just does not have the strength in and of herself to do everything. And the world, the pressure is growing on her. But you can stand in the gap and lift her up and strengthen her and serve her. And she will feel more at peace that she has a protector. Not someone who's just trying to have their way and just trying to lead, but is going, I am choosing to lead so that we can go farther together, so that we can be happy and healthy. And if you do that, you will have a happy marriage. And there is truth to happy wife, happy life. The problem with that saying because the false version, there is a false version, is when you act like Adam and you let her lead. It doesn't mean you don't take care of her needs. When she voices her needs and you step up to fill those needs, that's not the same thing. But when she is not making rational decisions and when she's, and things are against her, it's not always, and it takes discernment, right? It takes time. And you'll mess up. It's okay. But if you will learn through time, giving yourself grace and giving her grace, seeking to build her up and to serve her, things will go better for you. And she will be happy. And happy is not her always getting her way. Just like what makes a child happy is not always, you're going to learn this with children. What makes them the most joyful and happy is not them always getting their way. It's sometimes you know better and you disciplining them and leading them into a better way because you're the adult, right? Sometimes you've got to do that with your wife and go, no, we're not going to go that way because there's these consequences if we do that. We're going to go this way, But that's going to be a conversation you're going to have together, and you're going to live your life with her, and you're going to listen to her needs and her concerns, and you're going to seek her betterment. Now, if she knows that you're seeking her betterment, and that you're not just making decisions because you're insecure, but because you want the best for both of you, then she will more often than not go with you. And that can be hard if you have a wife that's caught up in the culture and caught up in the feminism and the baloney, and she's not submissive in a healthy way, then it's going to be hard. It's a hard road. And if you find a woman that's really pretty and you really like her in so many ways, but she does not have a healthy submission to her femininity, does not want to submit to your masculinity, don't marry that person. Don't. you're just going to have a headache and worse. And the same way for young women. Submission does not mean slavery. Does not mean you don't have a voice. Does not mean you don't make any decisions. Because sometimes you're discerning, hey, you're not seeing what I'm seeing, and you need to listen to what I'm saying. Absolutely. Right? And you learn that dance together. But together, if you submit to one another, right? If the man, as Paul says, seeks to love his wife and to lay down his life and to wash her with the water of the word, which we can all do better at, and then the wife mutually submit to one another, and the children over time become submissive to their parents, and then eventually they're also able to stand on their own 2 feet and make their own decisions. And the grown-ups go, and let them make mistakes in a healthy environment. Then you'll have a more happy life. But it starts, if the girl is asking me for advice, I'll say on nearly the same thing. Love your husband, submit to his authority, respect him, build him up. Don't always call him out. Sometimes you call him out, but call him up. Build him up. Recognize and discern the good things that you can feed, that he does well. Speak those things. And to choose to love him and give yourself to him and let him romance you. Let him. Even if you don't feel like it. If you don't feel like it, but if you let him do the romantic thing and seek you out, it will turn on what your heart. But if you seek each other out, if you seek to go low and to lift the other up, right? If the man seeks to romance the girl and the girl lets herself be romanced, and not just in a sexual way. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about just in life. Come into the romance of life together, right? And let the story unfold, and let him. Don't just try to have your own way, and husband and wife, but seek to let God bring you together. Then you'll have a happier life. You will. Right? And know this. There is an enemy, right? There's a real serpent who is sneaky like in the garden and will seek to divide you. If you'll stop, because sometimes it'll feel like it's like this person is just trying to do a thing that annoys you. And you get annoyed when you live right next to somebody. If you'll stop and you go, wait, maybe this is the enemy. Maybe this is something I need to say, something that's just me overreacting and I need to just let it go. But if you'll stop and you'll recognize, hey, I want to love you best, you'll get through those hard conversations and those hard times better. But it starts with a desire to love the other and to submit to the other, both ways, and to lay down your life for each other and for your children, and to live out the best your role has. The mom to be the mom, the dad to be the dad, the wife to be the wife, the husband to be the husband. And be parents to your children. Don't try to be friends to your children. Try to raise them up to be the thing you're seeking to be and to be better at it than you and to go beyond you. You will have a happy life and you'll enjoy it. And have fun together. Just do things that have fun together. Set your time to be apart. Find ways, simple things. Okay, men, here's the thing. The culture tries to say you have an obligation to buy flowers on Valentine's Day or New Year's or her birthday or anniversary. And it can feel like a burden, like, oh, I got to do this thing. It's an obligation. No, 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 no. It's an opportunity to romance your wife, to keep dating your wife, and to woo her, right? I love in Dead Poet Society when Professor Keating says, what is the point of language? Why is there language? Why do we communicate? What is the point of language? He says, to woo women. To woo them. And in the wooing, she will woo you back. Woo each other. Seek each other's best, right? And give yourself to one another. And it produces a beautiful thing. Amen? That's all I got to say for that. Maybe more later. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he shine his face upon you and give you his shalom.